guys, Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should subscribe for RWBY videos and reactions and things. So...
Oh, that's the spooky moon.
I guess so.
Oh, that's the spooky moon.
So... Oh, and Hunter and I have our computer back, yay!
Our computer back?
My computer back, anyway.
Oh, so it's your old one?
Yeah, it is.
So did you not
buy the new one? They fixed it. I did buy the new one, it's just not here.
So you have your old computer that still works?
Yeah.
And you bought a new computer?
My mom wants my old computer.
Okay.
That's like the whole thing, is that she wants it because it's like faster.
Well, it looks like Crow found the fucking wine basement.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's good.
Oh, look at the little picture of the girl in the background.
I have a good feeling about this place. Especially with me around.
Oh.
Are you okay?
No, he's not.
Sure.
I haven't been okay since I was a teenager.
Like hunched over, Hunter.
I'll wake you guys up.
Are you okay?
Sunrise.
Should I proper posture, everyone?
Yeah, exactly. You
Chin
know.
up.
Chin
Shoulders
up.
back. Like the Queen would.
Oh god. Anyway,
That's what
I'm
my
sorry.
fucking dad would every day. Like in
Oh, it's a diary!
Oh.
That's what I was
Apparently,
excited about.
He and several other families founded this little settlement to try and live on their own. It sounds like
Why
it
the
worked.
fuck you would do that?
That's like me
Or
marking
spell.
down my diaries.
Grimm?
No kidding.
Just one of many hard.
Except after you kill
Slowed
all those
down their
people, I
farming,
intend to
made everything
sell
harder.
all of your
It's a shame, really.
diaries.
He seemed like quite the
Listen to
ambitious fellow,
music.
always thinking of new schemes to overcome the odds.
Hey
That
guys,
sounds like Roman.
Yeah.
Crow said we should get some sleep.
Oh, it does
We're
sound
gonna head out early
That's
tomorrow.
what we're saying. Oh, okay, sorry. I don't want to pause, but usually we do this at the beginning of the video when I got distracted because of the Genlock clip. So usually at the beginning of our video, we kind of are like, oh, so this is what we talked about this week. So we talked about Neo and Roman being from Brunswick Farms, and we talked about some possibilities for Grimm. So one of them was Hunter accidentally referenced a Greek myth that he didn't realize. So Hunter said like a Grimm with a bunch of like arms and like eyes, and apparently there's a Greek myth with Hera, and Hera uses this sort of giant thingy with all the arms and the eyes to put people to sleep. So Hunter accidentally is a genius. We also talked about the Headless Horseman.
I'll take it.
We talked about a bunch of other Grimm. We talked about Night Hag. We talked about a bunch of other stuff. So I just kind of wanted to mention things, you know, just in case. Like,
I would
they
also like to
happened in this
mention
episode.
that our lighting is held up by a bunch of Cal's old textbooks, which isn't that the perfect use for textbooks.
Anyway, so we usually do that in the front of the video. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to like make sure that we talked about things that we talked about this week. But yeah, we talked about all sorts of different types of Grimm, so I'm excited.
Letting some kid tell me what to do.
Yikes, Maria! Get in bed! No.
You sassy motherfucker.
Oh, look at Ruby!
I can't get mad at my abuela.
Oh.
That fire looks weird. Anyways. Oh, okay.
Now it's... Oh, so
Morning.
they just woke up. Okay, so everyone's fine, I guess?
Oh.
Well, that's refreshing, I guess.
Nice.
Look at all of them sleeping weird like that.
Oh. Eh.
Crow has a different bottle than the one before.
Oh, there's gonna be more bottles down.
RWBY, Jesus Christ. So Crow did break into the wine cellar, didn't he? That can't be good. Imagine she pulls back the curtains and there's just a Grimm outside.
There's just a bunch of, like, eyes and shit.
Oh yeah, he got
wow,
like
there's
3
a
wine
few.
bottles, like...
Uncle Crow, come on, get up.
Leave me alone.
Oh, we overslept.
Listen, we need it. Wait, he's too sleepy to get up.
He's too drunk to get up more.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Yikes!
Oh, right. Sunrise.
Talk to me about stuff.
Oh!
Oh, this is
Let's
kind of
just get
fucked
outta
up. I'm not gonna lie.
But no, the music is not giving me hope. Like, it seems like everything's okay.
Wow.
And they're just gonna wake up.
I love how the first episode of this season was like, yeah, fun times, let's go.
We just go
And now it's like
did Weiss
alcoholism.
just
Everyone's
meddle
tired.
something on a Yang's bike?
Everyone's tired.
Wanna make it?
Not really.
I mean... Weiss the metal wielder. She just welded something
You guys got
on
the
it.
bike ready?
Is Weiss wearing tights?
Well, it's done
Yeah,
now.
she was always
So
wearing
let's hook
tights.
this thing up and...
You people are just beacons for bad luck, aren't you?
Ha! Maria.
Yes, I am.
Oh.
Oh, he's drinking again.
I'm starting to think the universe just doesn't want us getting to Atlas.
I mean, I don't want to go to
Just
Atlas.
a flat tire. I'm sure
Listen,
there's a
Weiss
spare.
do you want-
somewhere in the
Do
background.
you want
being-
John to save the world? No, you don't.
Storms,
Let's get to
crashes,
Atlas.
monsters. I'm so tired.
Me too.
Okay, they're being
Everyone's
very
tired!
Always having to fight to get by.
Yeah. But that's what we signed up for.
We signed up to try and save the world, not just delay the inevitable.
Oh.
Last night, I couldn't stop thinking.
Who's
Why
skirt
are
is
we
she-
It's
even
hers.
going to Atlas?
See, Weiss doesn't even want to go. You gotta take the relic and protect it.
Weiss, we have to.
Why? Osmond hid the relics behind giant doors under enormous schools. But how long would it take Salem to find a lamp in the middle of nowhere?
But the Grimm might.
They'd find it eventually, sure. But bury it or just throw it down the well, it would take years. It might not even happen in our lifetime. But we could be done with it now.
Okay.
Yikes.
This is kind of fucked up.
Jin.
I don't like this. I don't like
what
their
is
eyes.
going on? I don't think this is real. Like,
No,
I mean,
this is This is weird.
This is not normal, is what I'm saying.
No, this
I
is.
am really tired.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Her eyes are weird too. It's not as shiny as other ones. Look, they're dull. They're not shiny.
Yeah.
This is fucked up. It's floating. What is?
No, it's not. It's on her hand, silly.
For a second, it looked like it was floating. She's gonna drop it. Oh!
Ah! And she dropped it anyway.
No, I didn't mean to!
Ruby, it's okay.
No, there's something down there! I saw it! It was looking at me!
This is actually a little creepy.
Hey, it's okay.
Hey,
You just
man,
said you're
this would be a
tired.
great
There's probably nothing.
anti-weed PSA.
Now let's go.
Don't
What's wrong
smoke
with you?
marijuana,
We can't
kids.
just leave.
Not once,
We have to go
or
down
else
there.
the
We
evil
have to
Grimm
get the
witch
lamp
lady
back.
will win.
What was I thinking?
All we have to do is fix this trailer. Hey, farm boy, check the shed for a spare.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Without the lamp!
I'll go down with you.
We'll go down together.
Fine.
We'll all go down the
Fix this
fucking
stupid
hole,
lamp.
Ruby.
Oscar, fix a stupid tire.
Where are you going?
Where do you think?
Stupid.
Stupid.
It's gonna be like,
What?
Abuela's gonna figure out something. Fucking millennials.
And their
Your phone.
scrolls.
Maybe the current carried it away.
Or the
Yeah,
thing.
everyone's acting weird, aren't they?
Yeah, no kidding.
I think maybe
I wonder if
the
they're
Grimm is
tired.
making them all tired, and that's why the people on the farm gave up. Like Maria was saying, the farm guy was ambitious,
Yeah.
and then if he lost his ambition because he was like, this Grimm basically causes depression. Is all that I'm getting from this.
I did it, and my solution.
What the fuck did he do?
I don't know.
Oh,
Sun's
come on.
gonna
Where
pop
is it?
off.
Turn off your lights and just look for the glow?
That's
Okay.
a bad idea, Blake, but okay. I mean, Blake seems... Oh, look! Crescent Rose has some, like, marks on it.
The huntsman pointed them out to me.
The other day. Was it the Grimm?
There.
Why don't they...
Oh, what is it called?
The apathy.
Oh, apathy. Oh, because they're apathetic. Okay.
Right.
Guys!
Oh! Oh god.
What the fuck is that supposed
That
to
is
be?
legit very creepy.
What is this? My weapon feels heavy.
Run!
Run, you idiot!
We're being attacked by depression!
No, that's what I'm saying!
I know!
Why would the farmers, like, get this thing, though? Why? What would be their reason?
This is
This way!
a disturbing scene.
Why would that be the farmer's solution? For what?
I don't know. Well, is it in the water?
Oh, that was the
that's
huntsman!
the hunter! Yeah!
From the photo with the gun! So he tried to kill it, but he couldn't.
Went down. Oh, that's distressing.
Oh, this was in the cellar. Oh my god, they're fucking everywhere!
I can't do this. I can't.
Oh, Maria's just like, fuck y'all!
You fucking millennials!
An exit! An exit!
Yeah, Crow opening the cellar.
Oh shit, it's the cellar. Okay.
But it's locked!
Right.
Unless Crow opened it.
They also have guns.
Blake! Jesus Christ!
You fucking...
Blake, get up.
Man, everybody looked like they just popped a dozen Quaaludes.
Oh
Get
my
your
God.
ass in gear. Oh, this is creepy as shit.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Well, she's...
Blake!
Oh!
Ah! She silvereyed them! Maria was just like,
What the fuck was... What is it? Who's it? Oh, the silver-eyed lessened the effect of it.
Or at least, like, stun the Grimm for a minute, right?
So it wasn't like a full power.
No. Oh my god!
This scene is hurting me physically.
Oh.
I want to get to my wife.
And
Come on, come on,
you can see
Abuela.
how long the stairs feel to her, even though they're not. Oh, is she gonna take her glasses off? Is she gonna silver eye them?
What color are your eyes?
Ah!
Silver.
You have a family? Friends?
What?
What?
Don't think about them. Think about the people who love you. Focus on the thought of them. The way they make
She
you
has
feel.
silver eyes!
Well, we knew that already. We
guessed.
theorized that a couple times.
Life is beautiful. It is precious. And it must be protected.
What?
Expecto Patronum!
What the hell, guys? I'm so shook right now. They just all disappeared. And everyone's getting out of the basement.
It appears that
punch
it even,
it.
like, lessens the effect of Grimm.
Well,
Like, they all seem to be less
We're back in the
depressed now.
house?
well, yeah, it was a cellar. Idiot.
Uncle Crow, get up!
Hey, get off me. What are you doing here?
We're leaving, you idiots. Come on.
You idiot. Ah, they're holding hands.
Ow, my tit! Anyways.
Okay. Oscar! Oscar!
We have to go now!
I don't get it, but why was the apathy his solution?
Okay,
Oh, his
look.
wife's gonna set it on fire?
Hey, what are you doing?
She's gonna burn the fucking house down! That's what she's doing, you idiot! Alright.
I'm okay with this. Poised as always.
Now we can leave.
Stop it!
Oh my god, Crow's never been this drunk.
What's...
You didn't see those.
Not quite Headless Horsemen, though, are they?
I love how we guessed literally everything, but we didn't guess, I don't know,
a depression monster?
A depression
I mean...
monster. Listen, I've dealt with depression monsters all my life. I don't need it in my anime.
But why was it in the journal? Why did he say that it was the solution and that the huntsman saw them? Yeah, tell me. What the fuck, Maria?
Maybe the huntsman had a solution to them.
Oh.
They drain your will to go on. Bartleby's estate was hemorrhaging money towards the end. He wanted to cut costs on huntsman protection. But in order to do that, he needed everyone calm.
Oh, so
always.
he did bring in the apathy.
Managed to get 2 away from their pack.
Oh.
Hike back was miserable, but got the bastards in the cellar. Wife thinks I was out sealing the waterway entrance. I'll do it tomorrow and tell her the truth once these
So he did
things
it to
take
calm
the edge
people
off
down
of
so they
everyone.
wouldn't produce negativity.
I'm tired.
The next page proves that he did. But not before the rest of the pack followed their missing pair all the way home.
That would make sense. Yeah.
My guess is they made their way beneath the estate through the water tunnels.
Fucking idiot.
That
This
Bartleby
fucking man
sealed
was
up
like,
the
oh
next
yeah, so
morning.
use the Grimm so we don't have to
Bartleby's
pay
plan
for
worked.
more huntsmen to protect us against the Grimm. Like, what the fuck is that?
No one was angry or sad or scared. No one was anything.
Oh my god. This is upsetting.
And then no one was left.
Idiot.
This is fucked and well then.
Sorry for what I said. About giving up.
Oh, Weiss, that's not your fault.
Me too. We can't quit until the lamp is safe.
It's not your fault. It was those things.
I should have known.
Oh,
The
it's
signs
Miracle
were all
Prince.
there. But I'd never seen an entire settlement withered away like that.
Oh.
I suppose my mind just isn't what it used to be.
Miss Calavera? How do you know so much about the Grimm?
She's gonna take her.
And in the
She's a
tunnels, you know
silver-eyed
exactly
warrior.
what to say to make me... to make my eyes do that. How?
Take her glasses off.
What? Take your goggles off!
Isn't it obvious, girl?
Yeah, isn't it? It was obvious to us.
I had silver eyes.
Oh,
Had.
she had them, but what
Had.
happened? They
Had.
took them. No.
Had.
Hazel took
Oh,
her silver
that
eyes,
is
Hunter.
Fucked up!
Oh no!
Well, is there still maybe the thing? Nope. Wow. Okay.
That little fucking clip of Genlock was what they were teasing, really? Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Like, see new clips of Genlock tomorrow.
Look,
Okay.
it kind of looks like Slenderman.
Yeah,
Bring back
a little bit.
2012, I guess. I always found designs like that.
But yeah,
creepy
all of the
and
Grimm that we suggested, and none of them made it. It's unfortunate.
It almost makes you depressed.
Yeah, almost makes us
Ironically
apathetic.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh man, that was a ride. Hello everybody, it is Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon. Hunter, you don't have to... Hunter, you don't have to wear those. I was trying to take your headphones off. Okay,
What if
this
I
is
wanna
going
keep my headphones
very
on?
well. Anyway, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon.
Do you think
if you
we
guys want to
have
support
like
the
Grimms
channel.
living in the basement that make us fuck up openings?
Maybe. Maybe. It's possible. It's possible.
Okay, so RWBY episode 6?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys should subscribe, by the way.
I
for more
felt like
videos.
I've
Anyway.
said this more times in this season than I ever have in any other season, like ever, but I feel like we're constantly getting the best episodes RWBYs have ever given,
Mhm.
like back to
Like
back.
the season.
This has certainly been one of them. Like, I thought the opening episode to this season was the best opening ever. Then there was the History of Remnant, which I thought was an amazing episode, and then this happened, which I also thought was an amazing episode, and it's just one after another and after another. I'm like, so eventually this is gonna stop, right? But so if you wanted a quick early review go again, I think they're doing amazing right now.
I agree. And, like, parts of this episode were, like, predictable, obviously. Like, we predicted, okay, something's making them tired in the cellar, like,
but it was creepy nonetheless.
Yeah, like, oh, they're gonna have to fight it and run and blah blah blah. So a lot of people were like, Cal, this episode was too predictable, but at the same time, not everything needs to be some shocking, like, twist and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes things can just be...
Just because I predicted it, or we predicted it, doesn't mean it was still not entertaining, or
yeah, we don't need to be surprised all the time. Does that make sense? Like, I don't care about being, like, shocked, you know what I mean? Or, like, I guess how people say shocked but not surprised, like, that's how I feel like our reaction was, sort of, because obviously we knew where things were going, but we were still pretty shook, like, while we were watching it, if that makes sense. At least that's what I think. So let's just start at the top, I guess. So Maria is searching basically for clues, like, she's reading through the diary to try and figure out what the fuck was happening. So Bartleby or Bartleby was the dude's name. I don't know if that has any sort of significance, but I'm gonna look it up. Where's my phone? Oh, it's over here. Okay, so I'm gonna look up Bartleby and see if that gives us any results.
Down, and one of the books she's reading were, in fact, which I thought was a great device to use in the episode.
What, the diaries?
She was looking at the diaries, and she was slowly learning the history of this place.
Bartleby.
Which, my God. That was like all like the things you need for like a classic haunted house horror. You know, spooky thing in the basement, like history of the house that is slowly unfurling as the episode go, folly of man. It's really quite wonderful. I got such great vibes from it. Bartleby.
Bartleby meaning son of furrow. What does that mean?
Son of furrow?
What is the meaning of Bartleby? Bartleby, the...
sort of passive resistance.
Is a story of passive resistance? Okay, that's a book.
Who was what is the
Who was Bartleby?
Bartleby. So Bartleby.
So
it's just a very old book.
Yeah, maybe. A very old book, a very old person. But I'm wondering about the actual name and how it's a color name.
We spent all those different
Let's
videos.
Look at Nameberry. Son of the Furrow. A surname probably related to Bartholomew. Okay, son of Furrow. So it's a boy's name. Okay.
I feel like
that's all boring.
I feel like we've learned that after going through all the different German fairy tales and shit, and it turned out to see what was the monster.
And it wasn't even close to anything.
And it turned out just to be depression monsters that
rip all of the headless horseman people. We weren't on that train. Oh, so this is interesting. From the experts, Bartleby. That's his last name. The Skenniver is a famous Herman Melville character whose surprisingly powerful refrain was, "I would prefer not to." Or in the immortal words of a 2-year-old, no. Putting that aside, uniquely literary, okay, whatever.
So yeah, so I would prefer not to, as in, wait, no, Dogma.
Anyway. You can read that. But basically, that's an interesting thing that that is his name if it's all about, like, I would prefer not. I'm tired.
In the 1999 film Dogma, Bartleby is a fallen angel played by Ben Affleck. I've seen that one.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, okay,
anyway,
so
we've
been
going on for this guy's name a while, but that's funny. It's because it's I would rather not. Right?
That's coincidental.
That's interesting. I think that's nice. And so he's basically the head of the farm, and he's writing diaries, right? Mm-hmm. And as somebody who writes a lot of diaries, like, that's, like, my dream, is, like, for someone to, like, read through all my diaries when I'm, like, long and dead and just find my life so interesting.
I intend to sell your diaries to people for millions of dollars.
When?
After you've killed people.
Okay. Just saying. Just putting that out there.
Or like this YouTube channel has evolved into a cult.
Anyway.
And you had your own Waco level event.
So RWBY tries to have like a heart-to-heart with Crow, like, hey, you know you can talk to us, right? Or Yang. Or whoever, and he's just like, nah, bitch. Like, he just doesn't give a shit. So apparently, so he says something, so the Grimm made it all harder, and that's our first hint at something wrong. So Maria says he always would come up with new schemes to overcome the odds, and so that's our first hint, because later, right, he's doing this because he wanted to cut down on Grimm attacks, like, he wanted to cut down on the fact that he had to use huntsmen to protect the farm, and so the fact that Grimm were sort of the cause of slowing down farming and all of it. all of his problems. Like, that's just sort of interesting, right? I'm just like, is my head, like,
Huge.
proportional? Symmetrical, Hunter! What the fuck? What does that mean?
It's not huge. I was about to say not huge, because you've complained about having a big forehead in your wigs before. I'm not mean. I just thought that.
Okay. Anyway, so Ruby, like, is like, everybody go to bed, and Maria's like, "Puh, go to bed, fuck you." No, like, she just goes and sits down.
I'm an old woman.
But Ruby, like, sort of smiles, and she's just like, she really likes Maria, I think. She likes Maria's spirit.
Everyone likes Maria.
So that was kind of interesting. Ruby has to throw a bottle against the wall to wake up Crow. She's getting pretty aggressive, and so that's sort of interesting for her characterization right there. Weiss welded the bauble thing onto Yang's motorcycle, and I just love that Weiss just knows how to do that. I mean, it's not that hard.
Every good knows
You
how
just
to
gotta,
weld.
you just gotta, like, melt it, right, with her
I feel
glyphs. Like, it's not that complicated,
that's the type
is
of
it?
thing that would seem hard until you try to weld something and it becomes quite difficult.
Anyway, you mean
Anyways.
seem easy, because you said
Yes.
seem hard.
Seem-
Unless
okay.
it gets harder, like, I don't know.
Seem easy.
So everybody's tired, right? Even
Yeah.
Oscar's, like,
They're
falling
really
asleep.
before they were subtle, and now they were like, "Oh, I am fucking."
Well, at first I was just like, oh, yeah, of course they're tired. They haven't had breakfast. Because Blake is like, man, maybe breakfast will, like, fix us. And then Oscar was like, do you want to make it? And Blake was like,
no.
no. What a mood, though. Weiss was tired, and I feel like that's because she was close to the cellar, right? Because Weiss was getting close to the cellar, and she was getting tired last episode. And Yang and Blake were on sort of the other side of the farm, maybe where there were more collective of these Grimm, and maybe that's why they were more tired. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, so Crow's bad luck pops the tire, which is just fucking fantastic. I mean,
Are you a beacon for bad luck? And then Crow looks to the camera like, you may be asking
and
how I found
everybody
myself here.
sort of, like, is hypnotized almost. Like, their
Yeah.
pupils get really
I
large,
noticed
and you
that,
can
I
see
noticed
that.
like, their eyes get less shiny.
Yeah, and
Like,
that
Ruby
too.
still had to listen to it. And everything seems slower, like they're moving as though they experience a legitimate weight. Like,
Yeah.
they're all, like, it's like they're walking, like, every scene is going
Yeah.
on underwater.
And
It has
Yang!
this very creepy effect that you slowly realize is occurring until you realize, okay, something's
Even
up.
though Yang is tired, she still makes a good point. Like, she says, like, Ozpin just put them under the schools, but in the middle of nowhere it would take years, right? Like, calling out Ozpin a little bit, because, like, obviously, like, putting the relics in, like, a very findable place wasn't exactly one of his best ideas, even if it was guarded by Huntsman.
Yeah, I'm
you
about
know
to
what
say,
I mean?
but it's
So
also
Yang kinda called him
swarming
out.
with the fuzz. Like, they keep a lot
Well.
of gold in Fort Knox, but they also keep a lot of men with assault rifles.
Anyway, they tried. So you can see their eyes change as the pupils. You can even see Ruby's eyes start to get bigger, which is pretty interesting. So it seems like basically this guy's solution was to bring like 1 or 2 apathy just to calm people down. And I'm like, do you guys not have drugs? Like, what would have been the problem
I'm about
with
to
just
say, I feel
drugging
like
everybody
I could,
and
like,
making
bring
a cult?
tablet of Xanax.
Yeah,
Maybe
or
not
even
Xanax.
just, like, do y'all not have weed? Like, what was going through this guy's mind? No, seriously!
Listen,
what was
listen.
going through this guy's mind that
Some
he was
peop-
such a fucking idiot,
Weed
right?
calms some people down. Weed does not you do not want someone to freak out and, like, have a moment on weed when, like, there's demons that could hunt
all
down.
I'm asking
I'm a nervous person
is
naturally.
why was this
if I
idiot,
smoked
like,
pot,
why...
every, like, monster from 100, like, kilometers would be
Why-
like, Hunter's high, let's go.
Why would Bartleby be like, you know, I know what to do. I'll just take one of these Grimm, lock it in my
Folly of-
basement, and so then we won't attract any more Grimm. Like, what sort of fucking
It's
thought
the-
process?
it's, you
Like,
know,
no, that
it's-
doesn't make any sense, Barnaby. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
You know, you watch Walking Dead. They do the thing where they chain up zombies.
Yeah, but she keeps them to fight other zombies.
No, she doesn't.
Doesn't
She just
she?
keeps them as camouflage.
Oh.
Because when she's with the zombies,
But the
other
Grimm don't
zombies
care.
want
Like,
it.
the Grimm don't have that
But
same
it's the same.
effect.
It's the same
I-
general concept. I'm saying it was an okay plan.
No, it wasn't.
Executed very, very
No,
poorly.
no.
It is a feasible
First
plan.
of all, why would you just assume that the other Grimm wouldn't try to find the 2 missing from their pack, right? Because obviously they seem like
yeah,
wolves or
okay,
something.
maybe I would
Okay,
go through
so
more
there's
preliminary
that, first
tests.
of all. Okay, second of all, okay, like, why use Grimm? Why not use drugs? That's basically what I'm asking. I'm asking, is there not anything in Remnant that would be an appropriate substitute? Like,
imagine
you know what
if
I mean?
imagine if like they walked into like a stoner's estate.
Like, there's no like
It's
jingle
like,
jangle in here. Like, you know what I mean? That's from
okay,
Riverdale.
yeah, no,
Anyway.
jingle jangle isn't one a real drug, and two, do
I
they
know,
have marijuana in RWBY?
I don't know, but that's what I'm asking. I'm like, what was going through this guy's mind where he was like, well, the Grimm are the only solution. No, you idiot. Like, just, if you're gonna make a cult, just get everybody to drink the fucking Kool-Aid, alright?
Imagine
And
if-
you'll be fine.
Imagine if like they found a bunch like a giant bag of weed in the basement.
Oh, God.
And Weiss is just like, alright, I got this, gets out like red
And it
dust
seems like what happened
and
was,
uses...
they brought those 2 apathy in, he put them in the cellar,
Yeah,
right?
and then the
And
other ones
then
came up
the other ones
before
came
he
in
could
through the
seal the
waterway,
exit,
and then
yeah.
he sealed it. So he basically sealed all these Grimm in the bottom of the fucking farm. Why?
And they sucked her.
Why, though? What the fuck, guys? Like,
That's
what are you doing?
unfortunate.
Anyway, they look like Slendermen, sort of.
Yes,
Hunter
they do.
said that.
They look very Slenderman-y. Which, I mean, I just
Which doesn't fit in with, like, Slenderman lore or whatever.
I don't know
but-
what Slenderman lore is.
Well, I'm
It's
just
been a
saying.
while since 2013 when we all cared about Slenderman
I'm just
to an
saying.
nth degree. I just generally like designs where people are very tall and thin,
Mm-hmm.
skinny, and have very long limbs. I like those designs. Maybe because I relate to them at a personal level, I don't know. Cal, you're so funny, Cal. You're so funny.
Anyway, everyone snaps out of it, though, when they see the Grimm for the first
Yeah,
time,
they're
like,
like,
or
"Oh,
when
fuck."
Yang hears Ruby scream, so it
They're
seems like
startled.
there are things that happen that could have snapped them out a bit more.
Yes.
And you see the huntsman that was in the photo
Yes.
in
His
the
corpse,
mines. His
yes.
corpse is in the mines, which I thought was a really nice
Good
detail, and it
bit
shows
of
Ruby is
background.
really paying attention. Ruby's really paying
Yeah.
attention to detail, at least in my opinion. And the
World building, so you know, like, he was like, I'm gonna save everyone. He died, and
he just
either
whoopsie
he went,
poopsie,
like, no one
oops.
gave a shit, and they all just went to bed anyways.
I guess not. This is basically just like depression. Like they
And
all
really,
feel
they're
heavy
depressing
and like
monster.
weak and like all that stuff.
It's very
right?
unsubtly about depression. They're called apathy, the
Yeah,
monsters.
I mean, I guess that's what people have named them, right?
Yes.
I wonder if like Salem has just like made a bunch of Grimm, and so she's just been making things that she feels.
Now you
what
know
I
how
mean?
I feel.
Now you
Yeah.
know. So Blake is the first one that falls over, I guess because she was the closest to them. Or maybe she's just the most susceptible. I don't know. But she
Well, maybe
basically
she's just
falls
like,
over
I'm
first,
already very
and
sad.
she's just staring. Like she has
Yeah.
this like
Yeah, she zones right out.
yeah,
Like,
she just zones right out, right?
Her eyes, I've noticed that what they did, they made the eyes less sparkly. So she
Mm-hmm.
does not have sparkly eyes.
And her eyes
And it-
got really big. It's like when Penny died and her eyes
Yeah.
just slowly got bigger.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's what it reminded me of. Ruby just zaps the Grimm because she's upset about Blake.
Well, she's like, Blake's about to die, just like Pyrrha was about to die, and she
Wah.
uses. It seemed to me
It's
like
not
it
as
wasn't.
powerful,
It wasn't.
right?
It wasn't a full power.
It wasn't a full power Silver Eyes.
Because maybe it wasn't close. Maybe maybe that was like a one time like, ooh, real power. I'm hyped up. I just ran up the side.
Everybody
of the building.
snaps out for a second after seeing the light, though,
Yeah,
so
so
that
I think
obviously affected the Grimm
So it
somehow.
hurts the Grimm.
I think it
and
froze them
also-
more for a
yeah.
second, because the dragon is frozen atop
Yeah.
of Beacon Towers, allegedly, apparently. So Yang actually sees the stairs longer than the stairs actually are, which I thought was a good
Yeah.
thing, is that, like, when she's looking at them, they get longer and longer even though they're not, which I feel like is another sort of, I guess, like, depression metaphor, but also just, like, an interesting
very
thing in
tired.
general, right? Like, just,
Yes.
like, perception versus reality stuff.
And then.
And Maria's like, what color are your eyes? Has she not looked Ruby in the
my
eyes
abuela.
before?
I don't know.
Because
That's
everybody
like
thought
right.
that the reason why Maria followed Ruby and team
Because she already
was
knew.
because she already knew. But if she didn't already know, then why did she follow them? Did she just want to see what
I
was
guess
up? Did she
maybe
just
that's
want to
where
go
we're
on an
gonna learn.
adventure? Like,
I
why
guess
did she
so.
come with them then,
Like,
right?
I can't trust these whippersnappers.
Unless she saw the cane and she knew about Ozpin, right? That could have been something
She seems
too.
to
that
not
she
know
could have
about
seen.
Oz, but maybe she does because she knows a lot about Grimm. So maybe she does know something. About
Yeah,
this.
and so I was thinking, okay, well, if she didn't see Ruby's eyes,
Or
what if she
maybe
saw Ozpin's cane
she
and
was
wanted
like
to
an
investigate?
He's like an ex-huntsman, so she thought she could help them out, and,
And
she's
then
like,
she just...
like, you won't be the boss of me. Like, she seemed like the type of person just to do that
Yeah,
because people
maybe.
wouldn't want her to do it.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, so then you get her to, like, I thought was like one of my favorite moments of the episode was Maria talking to Ruby, being like,
At
"Think
first I
about
was
your
confused
friends."
because Maria said, don't, like, you have family, you have friends, and then Maria said, don't think about them, but then
No,
on my
it
second
was-
watch
yeah.
I realized you have
Yeah.
family and friends, don't think about them being the Grimm, because
Grimm.
RWBY slightly looks up a bit, which was
Yeah.
pretty subtle, which I like, and,
You hear the snarling being louder, if I remember correctly.
yeah, and they also muffle the sound a lot, like, there's a lot of sound design, like, in this episode, which is pretty cool, and then
She, like,
think
goes,
about your
"Whoop."
family and friends, how much you love them, and then she says, the way that they make you feel, life is beautiful, life is precious, and must be protected.
Mhm.
Which is interesting. Because I'm like, now I guess we kind of have to figure out how the Silver Eyes work. Like, it just seems like the power of love, if that's like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they're activated, even if that's not exactly necessarily what they meant to do. Does that make sense?
The power of love. It was like the power of feeling good. I don't know.
The power of how your family and friends makes you feel, which is like love and happiness, so it's...
Security.
My friends
Well,
are my power!
And maybe it's like the opposite. Maybe because like
Oh dear.
silver-eyed warriors are the antithesis of the Grimm. The Grimm are attached to
Negativity
feelings,
and RWBY.
powered by
Positive feelings. Interesting.
Maybe she's like, I knew your mother. You looked like Summer Rose.
God. Well, she didn't say that before.
Yeah. So maybe
Anyway.
so that kind of shoots a lot of our theories, because maybe she's just a.
I like how they're like, we're
feisty
leaving,
lady.
you idiot! Like, Crow's just drinking when all this
Yeah.
is happening. Crow is having some issues. Like, we
He's-
have to
he's
do a separate video
But he
about
also
Crow.
doesn't see the zombies, or I don't know, they
The
look like
apathy.
zombies. I really like how they're so slow, and like they're
Well-
so slow yet threatening, and everything else is very slow. It's like they're all walking through
That's because
water
they make
and
you
molasses.
move slow, and so they're
And yeah,
bringing you
like,
down to their level,
So
right?
despite like there wasn't a lot of movement or a lot of speed, it
It
still
wasn't
felt
necessarily
very
a
tense.
fight, right?
Yeah, it
but
wasn't-
that's not
But
a
it
bad
still
thing.
felt very, very, very tense, and I still dug it a lot.
Weiss burns down the house.
Yeah, and I think
I think
Crow
that's a
didn't
nice-
see the apathy yet, so he's just like, "Why the fuck are you doing?" And then when they're dragging him, he sees the
Yeah, and he's
Grimm,
like,
he's like,
oh,
shit, oh okay,
Oopsie
wow.
poopsie.
I've
But
got a
interesting to note, I don't think that the hands that grab Crow are the apathy hands. The apathy hands have these long, thin white nails, so I think that there may be different Grimm this volume. Even the thing that RWBY was fighting in the sewers doesn't necessarily look like they were maybe it was a collection of apathy, like in the OP, because it's
Yeah.
more symbolic in the OP, right?
Mhm.
So maybe that bunch of eyes, like, that scene of
'Cause they do
RWBY
have
fighting them
very
with the
long
scythe,
arms.
like, that just didn't happen, right?
Mhm.
And so I'm sort of wondering if that's a representation of a different Grimm, because the one that grabs Crow and the one that RWBY seems to be fighting seems to have different hands, if that makes sense. And so the hands that pull Crow down look more like the ones that pulled down Hazel, so I wonder if that's a thing later.
Yes.
When they're calling Oscar, you can also hear their voices muffled for a second because they're inside the house, and then
Yes,
as they get closer, they get louder. I just thought that that was a really nice
He's just
touch.
like grumbling outside.
You know what I mean? Just because, like...
Also, thank God the dude fixed those wheels in time.
Yeah.
Or else they'd all be screwed.
I'm
They're
at,
just like,
like,
let's
what
all
the
like.
fuck has Osmond been doing? He just,
Like,
like, he's
alright.
still in his timeout. He's just like, fuck y'all. Like, because
He's fixing the
Osmond
tire.
could probably have told them what was going on if he was around. Like, I'm guessing Osmond knows enough
Osmond
about the
has
Grimm.
not been terribly helpful.
I know that, but
as
I'm
of
saying,
late.
I'm sure Osmond knows, like, enough about the Grimm that he could have figured this out long before Maria if he was, like, fucking awake. But he just fucking abandoned everyone to die, so, like, that's
I
great.
also like the idea that if they didn't fix the wheel, it would be like, alright, so Yang's gonna ride the bike, then Crow's gonna be on Yang, Blake's on Crow, Weiss is on Blake, I'm on Weiss, Oscar on me, Maria on Oscar, and we're just gonna be like a stack, and we're gonna
Oh my
drive
God.
out, make sure we don't hit any electrical lines. Go team!
Okay. So, Maria says that those Grimm aren't strong
Somebody better
or,
draw
like,
that, oh my god.
furious?
They're not vicious.
Vicious,
they
I think
just
she
make
said.
you slow
Your
down.
brain, drain your will to go on. So basically, again, he wanted to cut the cost of the huntsman, right? So he wanted to calm everyone down, and, he calmed everyone down a little too much. That's basically it.
But also, that would be like, you know, oh god, what would that, god, what's even like a real world analogy? That's
no one was angry, no one was sad, no one was anything, no one was left. I'm tired. That was the last words that Maria said, so.
Yeah, and then she throws away.
There's also a very slow theme
great...
of miracle going on, and she just throws the diary away because she's like, "You fucking idiot."
There's a lot of really great like moments that are small moments, like when she throws away the book as if like throwing away their memory, throwing away these people's mistakes, throwing away. I also like the idea of him using like the overkill of like, all right, we need to calm down. So instead of like medication and Prozac, we're gonna go with monsters that make you feel nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
I'm trying to think of like a real world analogy, but it's kind of like if you had to shave your head, so you take chemotherapy. Like there's other ways to do this.
Remember when I talked about Grimm Eclipse being like a heart attack?
Yes. What?
Like this is what this is reminding me of right now. Like, if that makes sense.
Grimm Eclipse is a heart attack?
Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot so I can post the thing about Bartleby. No, in another video I described Grimm Eclipse as a patient who keeps having a heart attack, but instead of putting it on blood thinner, the doctors just keep trying to revive him over and over again. Right? And so that's what I feel like your nonsense was. Anyway, so I was just taking the screenshot because I was like, oh, I want to show this to people because that's interesting, the Bartleby stuff. But anyway, we're basically almost done. A lot of great
dramatic moments. That was a dramatic moment. Crow being pulled away. Just this episode was so good.
We can't quit until the lamp is safe. Maria should have known, she said.
I also like
How do you know so much about the Grimm, Grandma? Like, how do you know how to activate? There's an interesting moment here, too, where Ruby says, you were able to get me, and then she stops and says, my eyes to do that. It's like she doesn't even consider her eyes a part of her. Right, that she considers it almost separate, because she says me, and then she stops, and she's like, well, it wasn't me, it was my eyes. Like, she almost considers them a little separately, and I thought that was interesting.
She doesn't totally understand it yet. She doesn't feel like she controls it.
And Maria's like, aren't you, like, don't you know, I had silver eyes, what? Like, that's basically what
I like
she said.
how it zooms in and her eyes go wide, that's another
I like how she says, isn't it obvious, because all of us already knew, right? Like, this isn't a secret.
I guess they recognize that people would have guessed the woman.
Well, yeah, we made 2 videos on it, right? We made one about her when she first showed up, Silver-Eyed, Winter Maiden, evil person. Yeah, and then we made another one after the OP came out, going into Ruby's eyes, like, that's it. Like, there you go. That's, like, solved, right? So I thought that was sort of interesting. That's it, though. I don't know anything else to talk about.
I really love this episode.
Yeah, I did too. And I think that, like,
the scenes with the apathy were creepy as hell. And
the question is really, like, where do we go from here? Like, what's now? Like, they're just trying to get to Argus,
I'm guessing they're gonna get to Argus and they're gonna meet up with everyone. With
Juniper?
They appear to have renewed strength. They're all, like, they're on wheels. They're going faster.
Rip Adam. I almost said Rip Arnold. Rip Adam on the train.
I certainly hope that whole theory are very similar people.
No. Rip Arnold, because he's probably gonna have a heart attack after watching this episode. But I meant Rip Adam being on the train. Like, that theory, I mean, he could have still been on the train with the Juniper part of the train, and that's, like, what I'm holding out hope for.
Yeah.
At this point.
Maybe we get, maybe, like, the rest, I don't know if people are gonna really like it, but maybe they do a quick Juniper adventure episode.
Yeah, that would be kind of cute.
It would be cute. Maybe if they do a Juniper cute episode alongside with Neo and Cinder getting along.
Yeah. And I don't know, I still think the possibility of Adam being on the Juniper cargo side is still high, and so that would be fun. I'm just saying, because it doesn't look like Adam came out of the RWBY side of the end of the train. Clearly, or else unless he just, like, watched all this happen and
unless
was like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, Adam's just watching in the forest, he's just like, yikes. That's... You know what I mean? And then he just, like, keeps following them. Like, no. I think that, if anything, he's on the Juniper side of the train, so I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, I think we're done. So I hope that...
It was a very good episode. I'm very happy.
I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that if you guys enjoyed, you guys will become patrons over on Patreon. We've fixed up the camera a little bit. Like, I feel like we're a lot clearer, like, especially in my reactions where it was sort of just me and I was a little closer. Like, you can really see, like, the definition in my eyes and all of that stuff, right? It's not blurry. And then I also was able to fix the audio, like, in OBS, so it's not like you can't hear the buzzing in the background, because I used to edit that in post, but now I was able to fix it through OBS.
I'm gonna need to use OBS for something for school. So
really? What are you gonna do?
I have to
tell them.
Film myself doing a proposal for research.
I see.
So
Interesting.
it's a very weird thing, but I'm using OBS, so I might have to like bring my laptop in tomorrow or something and be like, all right, teach me your ways.
I think we need more light, because when the light is off, the camera looks like shit, and that's what I was reading online, like how to make the camera look better. It's all about like lighting,
yes.
pretty much. And that's why I think the iPhone camera looks so good. It's because the iPhone automatically sort of deals with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, with all the lighting nonsense, and maybe just where we had placed it was under one of the lights, but yeah. Anyway, my computer's back, we're getting it together, and we will see you guys later. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys would like to support the channel further, if you guys want to see us make more videos, if you guys want some cool, awesome rewards, you guys should become patrons over on Patreon. Patrons on Patreon have a variety of different rewards, so some of them are being able to request videos from us, so you could ask for a shipping video, a theory video, and we'll do it. Some of the rewards have to do with early access, so getting a video a week earlier, past a week early, and stuff like that, but the most important reward is getting access, at least I think it's the most important reward, access to our Discord server where you guys can talk and hang out with us. It's lots of fun, so I hope that if you guys want to support the channel, that is the route that you will take, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.